thanks to Palm Springs Life, for 50 years, California's prestige magazine. The Palm Springs Air Museum, a nonprofit educational institution whose mission is to exhibit, educate, and eternalize combat aircraft and our veterans. In addition to flying aircraft, artwork, and library sources, perpetuate American history for future generations. The Camelot Theaters, bringing you retrospective, documentary, and art films, foreign, and award-winning motion pictures. And the following supporters of public television and this program: Dr. Betty Baxter, certified life coach and consultant. Cash Baxter. Rick and Rosine Supple, supporting the arts and the Palm Springs Cultural Center. The Betty M. Barker Trust. SERP and John Conte Foundation. The Stephen Philibosian Foundation, supporting the arts and the Virginia Waring International Piano Competition. Dorothy and Harold Meyerman, supporting the arts and the Palm Springs Art Museum. The Coachella Valley History Museum, sharing the unique history of the desert and its pioneers. The Dr. Carrion Foundation, providing scholarships for Coachella Valley Mexican-American students. Hello, everyone. John Bayliss is a composer, concert pianist, and recording artist. He has performed with every top symphony orchestra at the great concert halls throughout the world. He is known for his crossover albums, Bach Meets the Beatles, the Puccini album, and Circle of Life, songs by Elton John in the style of Bach. He performs the latter at a function March 31st, honoring him to raise funds for Act for MS, which supports people with mobility problems from multiple sclerosis. Well, John never had MS, but a stroke 2 years ago weakened his mobility. But it has not prevented him from having a full creative life. He has come a long way since our previous interview, and he says his stroke took a lot away, but that it has also given back and opened new doors. Stay with us for an inspiring look at the very full life of John Bayliss. Okay, John, you say the stroke has opened new doors.
Yes.
It closed some, but opened some. So.
Closed a lot.
Well, I know.
Closed a lot of them.
And I must say, and when you were on before, and we may play it a little later,
yeah.
we did play some footage of you playing, and how you use that right hand, which you don't use, is just phenomenal. But you play today, great, with one hand.
With one hand. I always yell at my right hand and I say, when are you going to wake up already? It's time. Enough vacation. I know it's in Palm Springs, but come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's closed a lot of things. I mean, obviously, off the top of my head, I don't concertize like I did. I was 40 concerts a year, playing in Japan and Europe and this country, and I don't do that now, but some new things are coming about, and it was interesting, you know, moving here to this incredible healing valley, and that's where it took place.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there could ever be a better place, but the most appropriate, wonderful place to heal and to get better. Yeah. Is right here, and the people and the way that everyone welcomes you and is so supportive of your endeavors, whatever they are.
You know, the thing that is so incredible, really, is you had a stroke, but other people have had mobility problems from illnesses, different things that happen. And yet you're going through something that probably a lot of people here are going through. And how you handle it is so wonderful. So how do you handle it?
First of all, this isn't the first major, I should say, challenge physically that I've had. I had a lot of problems when I was a kid. Kidney problems and several operations and a lot of pain and struggle that way. And but you know, the music always was there, and I played when I was 4. That's when I started, and music was always a part of our house. My mother's a singer, and you know, sang Broadway musicals and opera type things, operettas, and she would always have her accompanist come over and rehearse, and
Yeah.
it was always in the house, and we, you know, and I played by ear, I played everything I heard. And I think, in fact, I remember that my doctor in Fort Worth, when I was about 15, he said, my specialist, he said, if he hadn't had music, I think he would be dead.
This was a doctor said that.
My urologist, when I was 15.
And so music,
yeah,
has been a part of your life. It was a great
my
part
God.
and continues to be.
It's the, you know, people say you're driven or you're led by higher powers. And I honestly believe that music is like the language of God. I really think it is, because it takes over when words can't.
Yeah.
There's something about music, a phrase, even if you hear one simple phrase of music, you know, that touches you. One phrase in music can say more than the greatest teachers and lecturers for you personally.
Yeah.
And I've just done what I've always done.
But you know, I know that you're working, for instance, Yamaha
Yes.
has a program which kind of fits in.
This is a new wrinkle.
Yeah.
That the Yamaha Corporation, very powerful corporation in the world of music and in every facet of life, obviously with motorcycles, outboard motors and everything. But specifically music, they have the nonprofit department or branch of their corporation is called Health and Wellness. And the Health and Wellness is associated with the Cleveland Clinic. Well, the music business is very incestuous, which you know, being so many musicians. And a friend of mine who was at Steinway, which I'm still affiliated with Steinway, she moved to Yamaha. And they have this technology where it's so exciting that I can play something with my left hand and record it on this piano. And, you know, it keeps it and plays it exactly as I had done it. And then I play the recording back and play with my left hand, the left-handed part. And
you mean the right hand?
Well, I'm recording the right hand, and then I play the left. So it's like I have both hands.
Yeah, yeah.
And
how interesting.
This technology, the Disclavier is what it's called, and that branch of Yamaha they are making instruments and keyboards for soldiers that are recovering with mobility issues. That don't necessarily want to learn how to play the piano, but the keys, you know, will light up when they hear the sound, and wherever the keys light, that's where they play, and it creates the connection between their mind, their hands, and everything, and it's extraordinary because, you know, to be involved with something this type of music now, or to be involved in helping in another way.
You're helping other people.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's terrific.
Yeah,
now let me ask you, as far as your playing,
yes.
when you play with your left hand, when you first went back to the piano, and I know it was a very difficult thing at first, you didn't even want to hear the piano after the stroke, but when you went back to the piano, was it difficult to do the left hand?
Yeah, well, difficult.
I mean, you'd always had a strong left hand.
I had an incredible left hand because my teacher said, she said, by ye left hands ye shall know them. And,
interesting.
And because the left hand is not only is it the bass, but it's the foundation that establishes the harmony and creates certain sonority with the sound. But you take away 5 of your fingers, you have to create, you know, the melody, you have the harmony, you have rhythm, and create color and some sort of thing. With one hand, it's challenging. And I always played melodies with my right hand with 2, 3, and 4 fingers, you know, and 5, whatever. Never played them really with the thumb. And now I'm playing all of the melodies with the thumb.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
It's like,
Yeah.
Total reversal.
Let's listen to something that we have of you playing with your left hand.
Okay.
And this was recorded, I think, in 2010.
10, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I played it, I think it was in Minnesota or something.
You told me about the thumb. I was watching the thumb.
The
So when you went the first time, the piano, to play again after the stroke, the left hand, which was all you could use, then did you consciously think, I've got to use the thumb, I have to get the melody, or did it just happen?
It just happened. And I remember the day my piano came. We lived in Northern California in Marin County, and we came down here. And I remember the day it arrived in the house. One of my favorite, I don't know, for some reason my hand always gravitates to E flat minor, and minor. And so I go to this chord, you know, on the bass, of course, and I play it, and it's just like, it immediately fills with the emotion is so strong. And and it was like I was led. I knew what to do. I mean, I've been playing since I'm 4. It's not like I'm, you know, starting last week, but I kind of knew.
Yeah.
And I just started weeping because you know, I was afraid that feeling would never be there again, you know, but it was. Right. It was.
And I have said to many people, when you play with one hand, you sound a lot better than a lot of people who play with 2 hands.
That's very sweet.
Yeah, that's true. But you're doing other things.
Yes.
Therapy-wise.
Right.
And I think, I was going to save it for last, but I love the golf story.
Oh.
I just love it.
Talk about a new wrinkle. It's interesting. My therapist, Kay Folmar, Kay was at the house last week, and I said, as she was walking to her car, I said, what do you think it would be like? Because I'd had an idea about, you know, maybe getting a golf club in my hand. I used to play when I was in junior high school, which has only been a few years ago. And I said, what about it? She said, it's funny you should ask. She said, we have an event on Thursday, and if you should come, it starts at 10 o'clock. It's at Desert Willow Country Club, and the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, they have this day called Saving Strokes, and it's for people that are rehabilitating themselves with, you know, and they use golf, and it was incredible. I had 3 different stations: a putting station, a chipping station, and a driving station. And each one of these places had pros, had certain, you know, these great golfers. My God, they're so incredible. And they taught. they taught us and gave us, instruction, insight, coaching on what to do. And it was great because I held with both hands. They even have gloves that for the impaired hand has Velcro on it, and it sticks to the, you're right?
It sticks to the club.
Sticks to the club, and you don't, when you come with the swing, you don't, flee and kill somebody. So, anyway, I had great success and fun, and I mean, to be outside in this incredible weather,
Well, you won't say it, but
I
will.
won't say it because
chipped.
I chipped the last thing. I chipped and I made a hole in one. It was right outrageous.
I wonder if you could have done that before with two hands before the stroke.
I probably would have had no interest in it.
But I think, again, for people who live here who have problems,
right.
What a wonderful thing
it's
for them.
It's incredible. Eisenhower is involved with it, and the Stroke Rehabilitation Center is in Palm Springs. I mean, all of these different facilities and opportunities for people,
You are so busy for someone who
it's really
thought
amazing.
your career maybe had come to an end. You're going to Hawaii, you're going to perform there, you're going to teach. San Diego, the
California Piano Teachers Association.
Yeah.
All the piano teachers come here, take San Diego, and I'm going to do a class and
a master class.
A master class and a concert and everything. Hawaii is very exciting. The Aloha International Piano Competition and Festival, and people from Juilliard and China and Hawaii, of course. I have a great number of kids in Hawaii that are extraordinary.
Isn't that wonderful?
They have this great 2 or 3 teachers there that are incredible. So I'm going there to do 10 days of teaching and lecturing and talking, and then Newport, Rhode Island.
Yes, well, I was going to mention Newport, Rhode Island, because that is so extraordinary.
Yeah.
And you're not only going to perform there, but you have something new that you're introducing.
Well, funnily enough, as I said,
you are a composer,
the music business is incestuous. Well, Yamaha happens to be the corporate. They sponsor and provide the pianos for Newport. Now, I've been a part of the Newport Festival since 1981, and I play them most every summer. This year is a little different because I'm presenting, actually, I hope to be doing a little producing and presenting different artists who come to the festival. And the first foray into this venture is my friend Madeline Renee, who I went to Juilliard with. She's a great singer. She lives in Milan, my best friend. And she is going to sing a piece. She's doing the final concert at the festival. And I've written this piece of music for her to sing. It's a part of a greater piece that I've composed. And I'm very excited about it.
Yeah,
She's
that is terrific.
premiering it.
Yeah, and the vocals are...
The vocals...
the lyrics.
The lyrics are by Marcel Proust. And I just want to read just a bit of it to give you and the viewers an idea of the emotion and to capture the essence of what will be done. And the first part of In Search of Lost Time, which is the massive masterpiece of Marcel Proust. It says, for a long time I used to go to bed early. At Cambrai, the magic lantern used to be set on top of my lamp. Golo's horse advancing across the window curtains. Mama would come in and kiss me after I was in bed. I heard her climb the stairs. It is a labor in vain to attempt to recapture it. Anyway, just this feeling of reminiscing and remembering the past, and actually that In Search of Lost Time was the first piece I composed after I had a stroke, based on that. And so this is a whole 4-movement piece now, piano essay concerto for piano, orchestra, and voice.
Yeah.
So, and Madeline will do the premiere of it. So.
Oh, that is just so fantastic. Now, Circle of Life.
Yes.
That's sort of Elton John.
It
right?
is Elton. It's
It
all
is Elton
Elton
John.
John.
And of course, you have a major recording
Yes,
of that.
I do.
And Act for MS is going to honor you because you know what to do with the mobility issues so well.
So
And we want all
embarrassed about that.
No, but you're going to grace us by performing.
Well, that's great.
But it's going to be Elton John music and Circle of Life. And
my album is based in obviously all of his melodies and his songs, but is in combination with the style of Bach.
Yeah.
Which, is a whole other thing.
But you've done an overture. Now, is that something new?
Actually, I did it several years ago, about 7 years ago, because a ballet company in San Francisco, they did this album. They did the Elton John. It's called the Circle of Life, and they did dances to it, and they wanted me to perform with them. So I composed an overture for the theatrical evening. And so I think for our event, we're going to do that overture with the video.
You mean for the Act for MS?
Yes, the
March
Act for
31st?
MS, our event.
Yeah.
Your event. And will be the video, and then I am going to play with that video.
That's fabulous.
And it's very fun. And I will also play a couple of songs by myself, and so we'll have a great time.
That's so wonderful, because I knew that we wanted to honor you, but I was afraid to ask if you'd play, and of course you are, and we're just all so thrilled.
Well,
all right, since we're talking about Circle of Life, and you did record it before the stroke,
right?
Because you're going to play it, and you still play it beautifully. But let's look at Circle of Life.
Okay.
Time to mention all the greats that you worked with. Betty Comden and
Betty Comden, Adolph Green, Leonard Bernstein.
Yeah, just amazing. And you composing. We talked about composing before, but you're composing something for the 2013 Virginia Waring International Piano Competition.
I'm known as the composer in residence.
And you're on their board.
I'm on their board, and it's a great organization, and we're having our next competition next year, and so I gotta
everyone has to play what you
compose. Yes, at a certain point, will have to play this piece, like they did in the last one, 2000.
It is a requirement.
It is a requirement, compulsory.
Yeah. Now, do you write that for one hand or for two hands?
Well, I think last year I wrote it for the left hand.
Yeah.
And And one of the kids called in, I think he was from China or something, and said, they called Anne and said, can we play with 2 hands on this piece? And he said, well, that's okay, but you'll be disqualified because it was written for the left hand. Anyway, so it'll probably be 2 hands.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
John, I wish we had more time.
We
need an hour and a half. Anyway, thank you so very, very much, and I hope that all of you will come to the Act for MS.
Yeah.
Do you feel a loving tonight? March 31st. Renaissance Esmeralda. Anyway, again, John, thank you, and I hope we'll see you next time. And don't forget, you can also watch us on demand. You can also check me on Facebook when I get around to it. I don't have too much time at Twitter when I get around to it. And it's just been great to be with you.
Thank you.
And we're going to have a lot of fun on March 31st.
Yes,
it'll be a great evening.
Yes.
And you're just wonderful, an inspiration, I think, for so many people here in the Valley.
Thank you.
And around the world.
Yeah.
Everybody has a problem. Thanks again.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.